Is the screen visible to you?
No, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I hope it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
visible.
Okay, great. So I will be going through with a quick revision of what we discussed yesterday. Okay, so if any one of you missed it out, I'd request you to please listen to it carefully. This is just a revision of what we discussed yesterday. I'll be going through this very quickly. So we start with what is noun. So yesterday when we were talking about noun, we found out that noun is the name of any person, any place, or anything. It is classified into these kinds, okay? So when we are talking about the kinds of noun, we have proper noun, which is the name which is particularly given to a person, a place, or a thing. In this example, Dimapur is the commercial city of Nagaland. We have Dimapur, which is the name of a particular place, Nagaland, particular location. So we call this to be the proper noun. In this same sentence, we have the word city, which is common to any kind of city or all the kinds of cities. So this is a common noun. Then thereafter, we have the third type of noun, that's called the collective noun, where we are taking the accumulation of person, place, or thing. Okay, is the accumulation, is the collection of person, place, or thing. That's the collective noun. Abstract nouns are the nouns which are given to three important things, which I told you: the quality, right? Am I right? Are you following it?
Yes, yes.
I hope you're following it. Okay. So abstract noun is the noun which is given to three important areas. Now, this is referring to the quality, okay, quality which we derive from the adjectives like kind, kindness, honest, honesty. The other one is action, which is derived from verb, where we are converting verb to an abstract noun. For example, when we use words like obedience, growth, these are the examples of abstract noun related to action. And then the next one is state. Okay, state, the state of being. So for example, slave is slavery. So when we use the word slavery in a sentence, slavery is the abstract noun which is the name of any state, okay, any state of being, any state of living. The next variety of noun is countable noun, where we are able to count the numbers. Okay, these are called countable nouns. And when we are not able to count the numbers, these nouns are the uncountable nouns. I gave you certain examples on this. After that, we had a test, and you all could figure out. I mean, like, you did great figuring out for the first time. Thereafter, we moved to the noun based on gender. We got to know that there are certain nouns which are based on gender, like the masculine gender, feminine gender, common gender, and the neuter gender. There came numbers, noun which are based on numbers. We have two varieties of noun based on numbers, singular and plural. Singular talks about one person or one thing. Plural talks about many, okay, many people, many things together. So there are certain formulas which I told you yesterday. Now, using these formulas, we convert singular to plural by adding es or s, or simply we are adding the s to the compound noun. No, so all these things are noun based on numbers. Then there are three types of nouns based on the case. Okay, now when we talk about case, we discussed about subject and the predicate. Okay, subject, in a sentence, subject is someone or something who does an action, okay, who is the doer of an action, while predicate is the thing or the person upon whom the action is being taken. The action is done, and this action is the verb. The action word is the verb in a sentence. So considering that considering the subject and the predicate of a sentence, we have two types of nouns. The first one is nominative case. Okay, nominative case is finding out the subject in the sentence. This is the nominative case. And always remember, the nominative noun or nominative case of noun is always before the verb. On the other hand, the objective or the accusative case of noun is finding the object of the sentence, not the subject. So when we talk about the object, we find the predicate upon whom something is being done. Okay, something has been accused on. So this is something which always comes after the verb. We discussed about the example, the jaguar killed the deer. In this, I think I will request you all to please stop popping up with the private chats there, okay? Let us first of all finish off, concentrate on our studies, and then after that you can go on with all the chats which you want to pop up throughout the not throughout the session, but let us first concentrate on our studies. So the jaguar killed the deer. In this sentence, we have a doer and the done upon whom something is done. So we have a nominative case here. We have the accusative case here. Apart from this, when we talk about the noun case, there is something known as possessive case or genitive case, which talks about ownership. Okay, what, whose is this? No, so when we have the answer to the question whose, that noun is the genitive or the possessive noun. What is under your possession? So these were discussions on noun which we had yesterday. Then we also discussed on articles, and I was talking about articles saying that for the examination purpose, there are questions which come based on articles, because many a times we make mistakes on putting an indefinite article or definite article in the sentence. So articles are of two varieties. One is the indefinite article and the other is definite. Indefinite, when we are not sure, when we are not confident about a person or a thing that is spoken of, we use the articles which are a or an. A is used before the consonant sounds, okay, the words which have consonant sounds, and an is used before the vowels. However, we discussed yesterday about the exceptional cases where we go with the pronunciation, like for a, using the indefinite article a. If the word which is seen, even though that word starts with a consonant, if it sounds like a vowel, we put an. If it sounds like a consonant, we put a there. So we have discussed about this, like university, honors, honorable, all those things. Then the definite article is the use of the, okay, and the is used before the single countable noun, plural countable, uncountable, a particular person we are aware of, or we know a particular thing or a particular place, we are sure, we are dead sure it is talking about that. Then sometimes it is used as in front of the singular noun which represents the whole class, proper nouns, adjectives which define the noun, superlatives, which we discussed also. We are going to discuss that again today. Then something known as the ordinals. Ordinals, if I'm not wrong, you remember what are ordinals? We discussed like the words like first, second, ninth, 18th, 20th, all these are ordinals. And then the last one is before the adverbs with comparative. So we had this done yesterday. We had some of the exercises being done, and most of you could give me the answer. So this is what we discussed yesterday. I hope you are clear with this. I hope the revision got you to what we discussed yesterday, right? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Then yeah, so if that's okay, let's switch to the topic we have chosen for today. So today I'll be talking on the adjectives. Okay, this is also one of the 8 part of speeches which we have been learning. So what exactly is an adjective? Now, adjective, if I give you a sentence, okay, if I give you one sentence which says, you can just write it down in your writing material. The sentence says, the boy was punished. Okay? The boy was punished. So I'm putting a sentence, the boy was punished. So in this sentence, we have a proper noun, right? The proper noun is boy. Okay, boy is the proper noun. So the boy was punished, which says that there was one boy and he was being punished because maybe he was lazy. No, he was very nonchalant. Okay, so if I put a word here to give this sentence complete sense, for example, if I add the lazy boy was punished. Okay, the first sentence was the boy was punished. Now I bring another sentence with a new word. I am adding lazy before the noun. Okay, so when I'm adding lazy before the noun, the meaning of the sentence completely changes here. Now I'm talking about this boy was punished because he was lazy. Okay, so when I add this lazy before the boy, lazy is adding something for the meaning. Okay, it is adding something about, it is telling us something about the boy. No, something is being told about the boy. So whenever we have any of these words which are used with a noun, which defines or tells something about that particular noun, then we have an adjective there. Okay, so adjectives are what? Adjectives are the words which are being used with nouns. Now, noun, we know what is a noun? Name of a person, place, thing, animal, location, and now we have got so many of the varieties of noun. It is number, it is gender, it is quantity, it is case. So whenever in a sentence you find something is being added to give us a new meaning regarding that noun, then that particular word is an adjective. Okay, so in this sentence which I gave you all just now, the lazy boy was punished. The word lazy is talking about this boy. It is talking about the quality of the boy. The boy was lazy. Okay, or the lazy boy. So this word lazy is an adjective. Okay, likewise, no, likewise, we can have we can put another sentence. For example, Suzanne was a clever girl. Okay, Suzanne was a clever girl. So we have a word, we have a noun here, which is girl. Girl is a common noun. I'm sure you are aware of this now. You are getting to get connected to it. So because there is a common noun, girl, okay, and what is the sentence saying? Sentence says that Suzanne, who is a girl, she's very clever. Okay, so she's a clever girl. So this clever is the adjective because it is telling us something extra about Suzanne. No, about Suzanne being a girl, being a noun. So whenever in a sentence you have a noun, it can be any noun. Please keep it in mind. Okay, it can be any type of the noun. Do not get confused with this. So whenever you are using any of the word which is Jans, will you please stop transcribing on the screen? I hope you are, yeah, thank you. So whenever there is anything added which gives us extra information about the noun, that is called an adjective. Okay, so for now, please know this because as we proceed, we'll be talking about the other adjectives, the other areas of knowing adjective. So I gave you two sentences already. The first sentence is the lazy boy was punished. Lazy is an adjective because we are adding meaning to the boy. We are knowing something extra about the boy. The second sentence, Suzanne is a clever girl. The word clever is telling us something extra about Suzanne. Okay, so whenever we use this kind of words which add meaning to the noun, those kind of words are known as adjectives. Okay, now let us talk about the kinds of adjectives, because Here, when you know this, you'll be able to figure out, you'll be able to point out which is the adjective in a sentence. So the first one, this is already discussed, adjective of quality. Okay, quality of a person, quality of an animal, quality of a place, quality of a thing, quality of a number. So whenever there are these words used which describe quality of the noun, those kind of adjectives are known as adjectives of quality, is mentioned there, or we also call these type of adjectives as the descriptive adjectives. Okay, because it is describing something, it is letting us know the quality of a person or a thing. So usually keep this in mind whenever you are talking about the quality, the adjective of quality or descriptive adjectives, the adjectives must give answer to a question. So whenever you get a sentence and you're asked to find out the adjective, if you're getting the answer to of what kind, question mark. Okay, I mean like this is the quality of what kind. So whenever you're getting the answer to of what kind, that word is the quality adjective or adjective of quality, which we also term as descriptive adjective. Example. Okay, example. Please jot this down. Example. Zuko is a beautiful valley. Okay, Zuko is a beautiful valley. So in this sentence, we have a proper noun Zuko, we have a common noun which is valley, right? So what the word beautiful here, now the word beautiful here is telling us something more about Zuko Valley. Okay, so because it is describing more about Zuko Valley, the word beautiful is an adjective. When I tell you whether the question is answered or not, for example, of what kind? So when I say, if I ask the question, Zuko is a valley of what kind, right? So the answer is a beautiful valley. It's a valley which is very beautiful. So beautiful itself talks about the adjective which is describing or adding more meaning to the valley, to the noun. And so this is known as adjectives of quality. Example, okay, let me give you another example. John is an honest man. For example, John is an honest man. So I'm putting the question, John is a man of what kind? Okay, of what kind? What is the kind of he being a man? So the answer is he's honest. No, he's an honest man. So honest is the quality. Okay, so honest, foolish, large, beautiful, kind. Okay, all these are qualities which describe a person, place, thing. On the whole, it describes a noun. So that adjective is termed as the adjective of quality or descriptive adjectives. So that's one. Okay, that's one type of adjective. The second type of adjective is quantity. Quantity, we all know quantity is how much. Okay, how much. Keep this in mind. When we talk about quantity, I'm not talking about how many. Okay, how much. I'm seeing how much of a thing is being described or how much of a thing is being meant. Let me take this example first of all. So the example is, for example, he is a man of little intelligence. Okay, he's a man of little intelligence. I mean, like, this is a sentence we use very commonly when we encounter people who are not very intelligent. Okay, I mean, like, who are not very wise to give us suggestions or ideas. So usually we use the sentence like, he or she is a man or a woman of little intelligence. So little, okay, little is how much? No, how much of the thing, how much of this person is being described? And the answer is little. So little is quantity here. Okay, it is quantity. Likewise, some examples like I did not eat, okay, take great care of yourself. Okay, take great care of yourself. So the sentence take great care of yourself. So the question is, how much care am I supposed to take of myself? No, how much care? I'm not asking how many care. I'm asking how much care am I supposed to take of myself? And the answer is great. So the word great is the adjective of quantity. Okay, so adjective of quantity means how much of something, how much of the noun is being described. That's the adjective of quantity. So examples, I gave you two examples. Little, okay, little is one, great is one, then much, okay, much is quantity. No, we are talking about quantity. We are giving it a compound form, how much, the quantity. Then there are words like enough. Enough is a quantity. All, no, all, okay? Everything combined together, everything in compound is all. So all is a quantity, any quantity, no? The whole, okay? Just now I used the phrase on the whole. So on the whole means entirely. Now I'm talking about the entire much, okay? So that's the adjective of quantity. Then number 3. Now here, when I'm talking about number, adjective of number, here I'm talking about how many. Here I'm talking about counting the numbers, okay? In quantity, we do not count the numbers, okay? We do not count, but we take everything as a compound. In the adjective of numbers, we start to have the counting of the adjectives or counting of a person, counting of a noun, okay? Using the word which describes the noun. Like for example, if I put you with a sentence, um, I have, my right hand has 5 fingers. Okay, my right hand has 5 fingers. So I can easily count, right? 5. Now, if you ask me how many fingers is there in your, how many fingers are there in your right hand, I'll simply say I have 5 because I can count. I can count my fingers there. So this type of adjectives are known as adjectives of number because we are able to count. When you ask the question, how many, you get the answer definitely, right? So those kind of adjectives which talk about or which show how many persons or things are meant. Okay, how many of the people are meant, how many things are meant, how many places are meant, how many animals are meant. Those are the adjectives of numbers. So for example, I'll put you up with another example. There are 7 days in a week. Okay, there are 7 days in a week. So to find out the adjective, I can ask the question, how many days are there in the week? The answer is exactly 7, right? So 7 is the adjective of numbers. Okay, so for numbers, or we also call this as numeral adjectives because we are counting the numbers here, and for this we are supposed to know how many, not how much. Okay, please know the difference here. For quantity, we are supposed to know how much of something is being shown or talked about. For numbers or numerals, we are to know how many of something is being talked about. So examples like 5, 7, okay, uh, then we can also say few, no, because few, we know that few can be counted. Okay, so these are the adjectives of number because we are getting the answer to how many. Now you must be seeing there 3 pointers, okay, 1, 2, and 3. So these 3 also come under adjectives of number, but then they are different. Okay, they are different how? Definite, when I talk about definite numeral adjectives, okay, or definite adjective of number, this is talking straight away to the exact count of a number. 1, 2, 5, no, 5. And then yesterday I talked about ordinals, right? Ordinals. I hope you remember. What are ordinals? Words, numbers like first, second, 19th, 20th, 100th, no? So all these are known as ordinals because they can be counted. First means 1, second means 2, right? Just the same way we count numbers like 1, 2, 3. So we are definite about the numbers. So whenever we are definite with the numbers, those adjectives connected to the noun. Always remember, okay, because adjectives are always talking about the noun. So whenever we have these exact numeral counts which are talking about the noun or describing the noun, those are the definite numeral adjectives. Example, for example, uh, just the way I told you, there are 7 days in the week. So 7, okay, 7 is the definite numeral adjective. The first president of India was first, okay, first, because we are sure we are talking about this one person who was the first person, who was number 1 president of India, right? So whenever you are talking about the exact number, be it cardinal or be it ordinal. Uh, okay, let me tell what is cardinal. Cardinal are the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, etc. Ordinals are first, second, third, fourth, all those things. Okay, so be clear with this. So definite numeral adjectives are those adjectives which can be exactly denoted in number. Indefinite numeral adjectives, okay, we are not able to denote them in exact number. Okay, exact number cannot be found out. So suppose in a room there are there are uncountable cats. Okay, we aren't able to count how many cats are there in the room. So but all the cats are hungry. Okay, so all the cats which are there in the room, all of these cats are hungry. So a sentence can be made, because we did not count the numbers, but then we know that there are a number of cats there. So what do? We put a sentence like, all the cats in the room are hungry. So when we use the word all, okay, we are not definite of the number, but then we know there are a number of things or people or no or animals there. Okay, so all is an indefinite numeral adjective, but it is counting the number. Okay, it's just that we cannot count it by the head count, but then we know it is the number because we have seen the heads there. However, we cannot count because it is the whole of everything. Okay, so those kind of adjectives are the indefinite numeral adjectives. For example, all, many, no, few, some, etc. Then the third numeral adjective. Okay, the third numeral adjective is distributive. Now, distributive, the word distributive itself means to distribute. Okay, to distribute. So, uh, suppose in front of you you have about 5 pens lying there, and all these pens are not working. Okay, you have 5 pens which are there, and all these pens are not working. So we never say pen number 1 is not working, pen number 2, pen number 3, pen number 4, pen number 5, they are not working. Instead of this, because we know all of these pens are not working, we can use words like, in replacement of the cardinals and the ordinals, we can use words like neither of the pens are working. Okay, so when we use the word neither, automatically it comes to us that none of the pens, all the 5 pens in front of you, they are not working. Okay, or you can use word, if all the pens are working, you can say each of the pens are working. So automatically, instead of saying pen 1, pen 2, pen 3, pen 4, we are straight away talking about the entire whole, and then we use the word each, which means that all of the pens lying in front of you, the 5 pens in front of you, they are either working or they are not working. Okay, so either, or, neither, no, every, each, these are the words which distribute, which are distributing the working of numbers in front of you, and this is why we call them as distributive numeral adjectives. Okay, you can jot down the examples which I'm just telling you. These can be each box has sweets. Okay, which means that maybe there are 10 boxes in front of you and all the 10 boxes are with sweets. So instead of saying box number 1 has this, box number 2 has this, you can simply say each box has sweets. Okay, neither of the pen are working. No, each of the pen are working. Every word spoken by her is a truth. Okay, every word, because you cannot count words, right? Number of words which I'm speaking, you aren't able to count now, right? But then, but then I'm speaking words which is definite, and these words can be actually in numbers. So instead of counting the words, you can simply use the word each, which means every, which means every of a word is talking about grammar. Okay, so these are the distributive numeral adjectives. So when we talk about adjectives of number are those words or those adjectives which talk about the exact number of a thing, I mean of a noun. Let me just put that as a noun. Okay, and then within this we have three divisions, we have three distributions. The first one is definite numeral adjective, which is talking about the cardinals and the ordinals which can be counted. Okay, we know exactly the number. Indefinite numeral adjectives, we are not able to denote the exact number, but then we know there are numbers there, there are things there, there are people there. Distributive numeral adjectives refers to, you know what, it refers to each one of a number. No, each one. I mean, like, it is not talking about just one particular definite numeral, or it's not talking about no one particular indefinite numeral. It is talking about each and every of the number which is there. Uh, it can be the number of places, it can be number of cities, number of libraries in a town. Okay, so the words like each, every, either, neither, these are distributive numeral adjectives. Okay, then there is another adjective type which is called the demonstrative adjectives. Now, demonstrative adjectives uh, means what? This means which person or thing are you talking about? Okay, which one? No, so if you have if there are two people, so of these two people, which one are you meaning to actually tell me? Okay, which one out of these two, which one? No, so when we have this demonstration done on which particular person or thing is being talked about or is being meant in a sentence, that is the demonstrative adjective. For example, okay, for example, in a class, we have about 20 students. Okay, for example, there are 20 students in the class, and of these 20 students, one boy gave a speech. Okay, one boy gave a speech. We do not know his name, we do not know his roll number, but we know that that in that crowd we can point out towards that particular boy who gave the speech. Okay, so because we know that out of this 20, that particular boy was giving the speech, the word that is adding meaning to the boy there, and so this is demonstrative adjective. So demonstrative adjectives are actually very easy to figure out. No, words like adjectives like this, okay, this, that, no, these, okay, these, those, such, these are the demonstrative adjectives. Let me put an example for you. Mm, uh, Okay, suppose you have a fruit basket. Okay, just imagine you have a fruit basket, and there are two layers of fruit basket. The top layer also has mangoes, and the bottom layer also has mangoes. Okay, so you have two layers of fruit basket. The top layer has mangoes, the bottom layer also has mangoes. But then we found out that the ones which are on the top layer, they are sweet. Okay, they are very sweet. But the ones which are the bottom layer, they are not sweet. So now you are differentiating, you are demonstrating, you are telling about the mangoes. So when you're telling about the mangoes, the sentence you are framing, because you're talking extra about the mangoes, you are giving more meaning to the mangoes, we can use the sentence in this way. You can say, these mangoes are sweet. No, these mangoes. So you have the top layer of your fruit basket, which have sweet mangoes. So you can very easily demonstrate, you can very easily tell that, you know what, out of these two layers, these are the ones which are very sweet. Okay, so let us have this. No, so that is a demonstration you are giving about certain noun. Okay, so that's known as demonstrative adjective. Now, when I said there are students of 20 in a class, and of this 20 there was this one particular boy who gave the speech. So you can point out, you can say that the speech was given by that boy, or the speech was given by this boy, right? So that and this is very clearly telling us, or very clearly giving us a picture, or it is demonstrating about the noun. So these kind of adjectives are known as demonstrative adjectives. Example, this, that. Now the question is which. Okay, which. So you had two layers of mangoes in your fruit basket. So I can ask you a question, which mangoes are sweet? So you will tell me, you will demonstrate, and you will tell me these mangoes are sweet. So when the word these come in, I am very clearly aware that, okay, so I'm going to have the mango from the top layer, okay, because these mangoes are sweet. No, so whenever the answer is being given to the question which, okay, which mangoes, or which noun is sweet, which noun is sour, which noun is giving the speech, which noun is punished, which noun is in hurry. So the word, the adjective which demonstrates that is the demonstrative adjective. Then the next one is interrogative. Now, interrogative is something which we all know. Interrogative, the easiest way to find out interrogative is there is supposed to be a question mark, okay? Because interrogative means question, okay? You are interrogating something, you are asking questions. So whenever in a sentence you find a question mark, keep in mind it is an interrogative sentence. So when it comes to interrogative sentence, okay, which are the adjectives before the noun? When we ask question, what are the things that we ask? What, right? What, which, whose? No, so these are the question words, isn't it? These are the question words. So these question words found in a sentence, which is asking or which is describing the noun, is known as interrogative adjective, because it is giving, it is talking about, it is giving us an answer. No, so here, if I put it in a sentence, uh, I have a number of books in front of me. For example, I have a number of books, and then I go to the class, okay, and then I start I start distributing the books. So maybe the names are not written there on the text. I find the book which is without a name. So what is the first question that I'll be putting up? I'll be putting up a question which says that, which will read, whose book is this? Because there's no name on the cover, so I don't know whose is this. So I'll be putting the question, whose book is this? So this whose book is this question mark, okay? Whose is describing the book. Okay, so the noun, and this is why this is known as interrogative adjective. And interrogative, very easy, you have to have the question mark. Because why I'm emphasizing on the question mark here, because we have another adjective which also starts, or which also has interrogating words. Okay, so remember this is a clue for you all. For interrogative adjectives, it is always supposed to have a question mark. Thereafter, the next type of adjective is emphasizing. Okay, you are emphasizing. No, emphasizing means what? Emphasizing, in a very simple term, emphasizing means you are putting pressure. Okay, you are putting pressure. You are trying to, you are trying to prove your case. Okay, and when you try to prove your case, or when you're putting pressure, then we are emphasizing on something. Okay, emphasizing on it. So in this case, okay, emphasizing things are very easy to find out. Usually emphasizing words are the words like own, O-W-N. Okay, own, and very, V-E-R-Y. So whenever you find a noun is added meaning with words like own, O-W-N, and V-E-R-Y, very, those that sentence has emphasizing adjectives, okay? Emphasizing adjectives like mind your own business. No, mind your own business. Okay. So I'm telling you what, please mind your own business. Do not mind any other person's business, but your own business. So I'm emphasizing you have to be aware of yourself. Don't poke your nose in any other person's business. Then the sentence like let me use a sentence with the word very. This is the very thing I want. No, I mean, like, we usually use this sentence, okay, when I have to say that I was actually looking for this one only. No, when I want to emphasize on that, I was looking for this. I was not looking for anything else but this one, and I got it. I'm looking for this particular thing, so I will be using sentence like, this is the very thing I was looking for. This is the very thing I got. No, so in that case, we are emphasizing on things. We are emphasizing on noun using the word very and own. So these are emphasizing adjectives. Then the next one, the last one, okay? The last kind of adjective is exclamatory. Now, exclamatory adjectives, these are always coming with the exclamation mark, another hint there. Very easy to figure out. And exclamatory words are like, oh, no, whenever you are sighing, okay, whenever you have deep feelings or deep regrets or deep emotions, then we use exclamatory sentences, okay, exclamatory words here. So whenever, whatever, whichever word is used to express, express our feelings, our emotions, that word is the exclamatory adjective. Okay, exclamatory adjective. For example, we use this very commonly, and I'm very sure once all of you will be clearing off with your exams, you'll be very happily praising God and saying, "What a blessing!" Right? The phrase will be, "What a blessing!" So in this, now, what a blessing is an exclamatory sentence. Okay, it's exclamatory because you are putting out your expressions, your emotions there, your feelings there, you are sighing there. So in this sentence, when I use this line, what a blessing. What? Okay, what is an exclamatory adjective? Okay, so exclamatory adjective. Now again, you may be asking me another question. What if what is an exclamatory adjective, then why is what used as an interrogative adjective? Right? I mean, like, you must be thinking this. Now, the answer I already answered previously, because in interrogative adjective, we are asking a question, we want an answer to something. In exclamatory, we are expressing our feelings. Okay, and that is the reason why, even though what is something which is very common, okay, in both, but using it for interrogation is a different way of using adjective. Using it for exclamatory is another way of using it as an adjective. So when we talk about this, okay, when we are talking about this, these are the different types of adjectives we are talking about, okay? So adjective of quality, I'll repeat again. Please keep this in mind. Adjective of quality, we are discussing or we are describing a quality of the noun. Adjective of quantity, we are seeing how much of the noun is there. Adjective of number, we are focusing on how many. When it comes to many, we are able to count. Again, within adjectives of number, we have three types of adjectives. One is definite. We know the exact counting. Indefinite, we do not know the exact counting. Distributive, we are distributing, okay, it amongst each one of the number. Okay, each one of the number. Then demonstrative adjective is the adjective where we are pointing out particularly which noun we are talking about. Okay, which noun? I mean, like, which person we are talking about, which city we are talking about, which animal we are talking about. No? And then there's another one which is interrogative, where we are asking question. Okay, we want the answer to what? Okay, so but then there's always with the noun. Keep in mind, adjectives are always with the noun. Emphasizing adjectives, we are emphasizing, we are pressurizing, we are putting a lot of pressure on something. And the words used are own, O-W-N, and very. And the last one is exclamatory adjective. Exclamatory, where we are putting out our feelings, okay, our sighs, our emotions, but this always comes before the noun, and this always comes with an exclamatory mark. So these are the adjectives we are talking about. Let's test your understanding. Okay, let us quickly test your understanding. Number one, please tell me which is the word and which is the adjective that we are being using here. The ship sustained heavy damage. The ship sustained heavy. Yes,
Demonstrative.
the ship sustained heavy damage. Heavy.
Damage.
Like if we are talking about the about what kind of damage did the ship sustain? The answer is heavy, right? And when we're talking
Heavy.
about what kind, it is the adjective of quality. Okay, heavy is a quality. Okay, because it's talking about it is giving a description. It is giving what kind of damage is being done. Number two, a live donkey is better than a dead lion. A live donkey, life is a quality, better is a quality, dead is a quality. Okay, and it is describing about the noun donkey, lion. So it is describing, it is giving a description about the donkey and the lion. So with whichever adjectives gives description about the noun, those adjectives are the adjectives of quality. Okay, let's try the third one. I like the little peddler who has a crooked nose. I like the little peddler who has a crooked nose. Which are the nouns here?
Quality.
Yeah, so tell me which are the nouns?
Okay.
Peddler.
Peddler,
Peddler.
great. Peddler is a noun, yes. And is there any other noun?
Crooked.
Nose.
Nose,
Nose.
yes. Nose, isn't it? Because nose is a thing, no? Noun is the name of anything, person, place, or thing, right? So nose and peddler. Okay, and what is being described about the peddler? What is being told about the peddler? Peddler is little, right?
Little.
We have a little peddler. So
Little and crook.
exactly. So little is what? Little is the adjective of quantity, right?
Quality.
Quantity.
Quality.
And crooked is the adjective of quality. Crooked
Quality.
nose. No, what kind of nose does the peddler has? He has a crooked nose, right? What kind of nose? It is a crooked nose, which is a quality. And when we are talking about how much is the peddler who has a crooked nose? He is a little peddler, right? He is a little peddler. He's not a great peddler. He's a little peddler. So little is a adjective of quantity. Okay. Adolf won the second prize. Adolf won the second prize.
Distributive.
Definite number.
Definite numeral, exactly. Definite numeral. And which is the word?
Second.
Second, good. And second is an ordinal, isn't it? First, second, third, fourth, these are ordinals. So Adolf won the second prize. In this sentence, second is the definite numeral adjective because we are talking about the exact number. Okay, he won the second prize. So we know very surely he is a person with the second position. Then the next one. I have called several times. Several. I have called several times.
Indefinite
Emphasis.
number.
Indefinite. Perfect. Indefinite. the word several, right? Indefinite, because we are not able to figure out how many times you call, right? If you have called me a number of times and I haven't picked up, so you'll be telling me, ma'am, I call you several times, right? So when you use the word several, which means I don't have the count of how many times I call you a number of times. Okay, so we don't have the exact number, but if you tell me I have called you 10 times, then 10 is definite. Okay, but here the word several represents indefinite numeral adjectives. Next one. I will take neither of the two. I will take
Distributive.
perfect. Yes, it is distributive because why? I'll explain why.
Numerals.
Because there are two of the things there, and you are neither taking this or you are taking that, right? So you're distributing it amongst the two. Good. These mangoes are sour.
Demonstrative.
Demonstrated. Yes, because you are giving me a demonstration of the mangoes and you're telling me these are sour, please don't have it, right? These are sour, okay? So please don't have these mangoes, no? So these, you are demonstrating it. What time is it?
Interrogative.
Perfect. Interrogative, because we have the question mark there. Great. Mind your own business. Emphasizing adjective. Perfect. So the word is which one? Which is the word?
On.
Own. Okay. He was bitten at his own game. He was bitten at his own game. He was bitten at his own game.
Demonstrative.
Emphasizing.
Emphasizing. Exactly. Because you have the word own, isn't it? Then, what a blessing.
Exclamatory.
Exclamatory. The word is what? Okay. And the next one is again the same thing. What genius? Exclamatory. Great. So these are, I hope, I'll be requesting you to keep on practicing because you are getting it, right? And moreover, I'll be sharing later on, I'll be having a revision with you all where we'll be doing a lot of exercises. So all these things will get repeated there again. Okay, so please revise whenever we finish up the class and whenever you have any extra hours of your leisure to revise, to study. Okay. Then when we talk about adjective, now adjective is pretty large, okay, it's pretty huge. So there's another thing which we are supposed to know about adjectives, and this is the degree of comparison. This is very easy. I'm very sure we have done this during our high school English classes. We have done this a number of times, right? So degree of comparison talks about what? We are trying to have comparisons amongst the adjectives, okay, amongst the adjectives, but then these adjectives are talking about the noun, okay, because always remember, this is something which you'll have to remember every time. I will not be repeating this. Adjectives always talk about the noun, okay, and when we are talking about the degree of comparison, we are talking about what is the comparison level of the noun, which is being given meaning by the adjective. Okay, what is the level of comparison, or what is the level of the noun which is given meaning by the adjective? So this type of comparisons are known as degree of comparisons when adjectives are changing form. Okay, they are changing form, they're changing their state to show the comparison. Let me put this in a sentence. Okay, let me put this in 3 sentences. I've used the word sweet there, so let us talk about sweet only. Okay, first sentence, the mango is sweet. Okay, the mango is sweet. So we are very sure that the sentence, the adjective is very clearly telling us about this particular mango, which is very sweet. Okay, suppose there are 2 mangoes. No, now you have to find out which one is sweeter. Distributive, right? Distributive adjective. So you have to, I mean demonstrative adjective. So you have to tell me which one is sweeter. So in that case, you will be using sentence like, this mango is sweeter than that. Okay, sweeter. Now you are giving me a demonstration, just the way we discussed previously. You have 2 stacks of fruit basket, and these 2 stacks are being filled with mangoes, and you tell me these mangoes are sour, right? So you are giving me a demonstration. These are sour. Don't have this one, rather have the other one, right? So whenever there are 2 things, and always remember, comparison is always done between 2 things, 2 nouns. Okay, always. No, we usually do not compare between 3 or 4 things. We have a different order of comparison there. So whenever you have 2 things or 2 nouns in front of you, and you're trying to compare which one is better than the other, then there we use the comparative degree. Okay, in the first one we just have one thing, so it is positive degree. We know that this is the quality of this noun. In the second degree of comparison, we are always supposed to have 2 things, 2 nouns, and you are now figuring out which one is better than the other. That's called comparative degree. Superlative degree is the highest form of comparison which is done amongst nouns which are more than 2. Okay, I just told you now, isn't it? There is a different way of comparing when there are things which are more than 2. Okay, so when there are things which are more than 2, in that case, we have to figure out which is the best of all. No, so when we are trying to figure out the best of all or amongst the all, then we use the superlative degree there. So you have 3 different comparisons: the positive degree, the comparative degree, and the superlative degree. Like, for example, I've mentioned here sweet, sweeter, sweetest. Okay, this apple is sweet. This apple is sweeter than the other apple. Okay, this apple is sweetest of all. No? So when, just remember, positive degree, you are just having a simple comparison. You are simply telling, or you are simply using the adjective. For comparative, you are comparing between the 2. Okay, so adjective changes its form. And for superlative, you are comparing amongst the many in front of you. So in that case, again, the adjective changes its form. Okay, so likewise, there are words like small. If there's a word which is small, no, positive degree, the kite is small. Okay, for example, and then you have 2 kites there. So now you have to tell me which one is a little not small, okay, or a little more small. So you will use the word smaller. Okay, this kite is smaller than the other one. Okay, than that, no? And then if you have a number of kites, because there are some places in India which have kite festivals, okay, so which means the sky has number of kites there. So of these kites, you have to tell which one is really small, okay, of the others. So then you use the word smallest. Okay, so the sentence is, this kite is small. This kite is smaller than that. This kite is the smallest of all the other kites. Okay, so this is a degree of comparison. Likewise, tall, taller, tallest, no? Clever, cleverer, cleverest, young, younger, youngest, great, greater, greatest, right? These are something which goes on with the comparisons. Now, when we are talking about comparison again, okay, now this is I mean, like, you can expect this kind of questions. Suppose I am putting a word here. Let me just put a word here in bold. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Right. So this particular word here, beautiful. Now I want you to tell me the positive, comparative, and superlative degrees for the word beautiful.
More
How-
beautiful and most beautiful.
Okay, why do we do that? Why do we do that? Why do we use beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful?
Beautified.
Maybe because
Mhm.
we cannot use the word beautiful in other ways in which we are
Mhm.
using the word sweet, sweeter, and sweetest.
I mean, like we cannot use it as beautiful, beautifuler, beautifulest, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Great. The reason is, let me tell you the reason. See, every word has syllables. Okay, syllables. No. So syllables are something like this. Like instead of me explaining that, let me just put it here. Beautiful. Okay. I mean the pronunciation. When we are pronouncing a word, we break it into syllables. So syllables in the sense sweet. No. So the word sweet, okay, the word sweet has just one syllable, okay, because we are pronouncing it in one go, one breath. I mean, I'm giving you a hint, okay? I mean, like, that is not actually the definition of what a syllable is, but then for a hint, I'll come to definition. So when I'm using the word sweet, when you use the word sweet, tall, we are using that, or we are using the word in one go, in one breath, sweet, right? Sweet, no, immediately. So this sweet is that one pronunciation at one go. Likewise, tall, no, tall is pronounced at one go. Okay, the word tall comes out at one go. Okay, but when we are talking about beautiful, beautiful is not a word we are pronouncing at one go. Right? We don't pronounce it as beautiful. No, we pronounce this as beautiful. Right? Beautiful. Okay, are you getting it? Beautiful. It is not sweet. So we are not pronouncing sweet as sweet. No, we pronounce this as sweet. Beautiful, we are pronouncing this as beautiful, which means what? We are taking three breaths together. Beautiful. Okay, so in this word beautiful, we have 3 units of pronunciation. And that is what a syllable is. A syllable is a unit of pronunciation. Okay, a unit of pronunciation. So 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 units. No, so sweet is pronounced in 1 unit. Beautiful is pronounced in 3 units. Okay, like this. Beau is 1, T is 1, and full is 1. So whenever we have this kind of adjectives which have more than 2 syllables, okay, more than 2 syllables, that case we use more for the comparative, most for the superlative. Okay, did you get it? For example, I'll give you another word here. Let me give you another word here. Difficult. Difficult, right? Difficult. So we are, how many units of pronunciation is in the word difficult? Difficult. Exactly. So the words, the units are D, right? Okay. I think it will come here. Yes. D is 1. D, P, cult, difficult. So we will be using this comparison as more difficult, most difficult. Okay. All right. Then things like curry. Oh yeah, let me just put another word for you so that you understand. Because usually this kind of things are being asked in the examination. Courageous. 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 No? We are not pronouncing this as courageous. Okay? Courageous, not at one go. Rather, we pronounce this as courageous. 3 syllables, right? So we will be using sentences like, he is very courageous. He is more courageous than Sam. Okay. John is the most courageous of all. Got it? So this is how we do the degree of comparison. I mean, like, these things are very easy. Sweet, sweetest, sweetest, tall, taller, tallest. You just have to add ER, EST, and then the comparison comes in. But this is where we sometimes get a little taxed. Okay, so in this case, always remember the syllable, the unit of pronunciation counts, and syllable is the unit of pronunciation. So whenever you get any word, any word which you will have to, you'll have to talk in terms of pronunciation, the syllables. In that case, you are supposed to use more and most. Now, there are some adjectives which are compared irregularly, irregular comparison. Sweet, sweetest, sweetest is a regular comparison, okay? But then if you have words, no, I mean, like there are adjectives which are irregular. For example, what will be, I mean, like we all know this. What will be the comparative and superlative of good? Good? Is it good, good, or goodest?
Better, best.
Better, best.
Good, better, best, right? Irregular comparison, okay? Irregular. Similarly, bad, 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 better, baddest, or bad, worse, worst, right? Little, little, littler, littlest? No. Okay, it is little, less, least. Okay, so there is a list actually, and we have to follow this list, okay, to understand this. So these are the degrees of comparison. Okay, so this is about superlative, comparative, and positive. Now, I actually want to emphasize on this, the correct usage, because we tend to make a lot of mistakes on the correct usage of these words, which sound very similar, right? They sound very similar, but then they have different positionings, or they mean differently. And we make mistakes because of the sound. No, so we have to know this. Now, this is very, very important. Please understand this very carefully and be very attentive in understanding the correct usages of these words. Later, okay, later, later, whenever you are supposed to use the word later, later will always be in reference to the time. Okay, time. No, it will always be in reference to the time. For example, he is later than I expected, which means what? I was expecting him to be at a certain point of time, but then he came far beyond that time. No, so whenever you are talking about time, whenever in a sentence you find the time is being emphasized on, or the time is being mentioned, then in that case, you are supposed to use the word later with a single T. Okay, later. No, he is later than I expected. She is later than 5 o'clock. Right. So that's the correct usage of the word later. So single T, later, is in reference to time. We have a word with the same pronunciation, later, but then it's with double T. Okay, now this is in reference to the position of something, position of a noun. Okay, so for example, the later chapters are not interesting. You have your prep books, right? You have your subject books like sociology. You are studying political science, so uh, maybe you are finding you're finding the first few chapters very interesting, but the next few chapters are not interesting. So usually the common sentence we use, the common usage is the next chapters are not good, right? But the use of next is wrong there. Instead of using next, the correct usage is use of the word later. Okay, the later chapters are not interesting. The later chapters are good. The later chapters are bad. The later chapters talk about the climax. Okay, so these two words, they sound the same, later, later. Okay, but here the only difference we have to keep in mind is when are we using that? It is used, one is used in terms of time, the other one is used in terms of position. Elder, older. Do you really get confused when we are using this? Elder, older. He is my elder brother. He is my older brother. I think like we get confused with this, right? Many a times we get confused. So when are we using the word elder with E? When we are referring only to the person. Okay, only to the person. Like if you are referring to your friend who is maybe 5 years senior to you. Okay, so you will be using the word elder because elder is always in connection to person. Okay, person as a noun. So, for example, John is my elder brother. No, so we are talking about John, and John is a human being. He's not anything else. He's not a structure. He's not a monument or something. John is a human being, and so we use the word elder when we are mentioning human being. Older. Older can actually, now this is very taxing, older can be used for both persons as well as things. So in place of elder for John, you can even use John is older. John is my older brother. Okay, or John is older than Sam. This the should not be here. Okay, John is older than Sam. Then, however, when we talk about things, okay, when you're talking about things, then older is used. We never use elder. For example, this one, the sentence, this is the oldest church. Please avoid using this is the eldest church. Okay, there is no usage of eldest when we are talking about things. Okay, so elder, older. Elder can be used in connection to only a person. Older can be used in connection to a person also, but older is specifically used when we are talking about things. Okay, when you're talking about things. Okay, then this one, farther, further. No, farther, far. Okay, farther. Farther is always with distance. Like, because I'm staying in Dimapur, so Kohima is far for me. So I'll be like, Kohima is farther from Dimapur, or Kohima is farther from my home, right? So farther is always in terms of distance. Further, okay, further, it is also distance, but then it is emphasizing on extra distance. No, extra distance, okay? So so in this sentence, I must have a reply without further delay. No, without further delay. So you're talking about the distance. Someone is delaying the reply, and you don't want any more delay, any more distance in the reply. So in that case, when you are talking about additional distance, because if someone is delaying the reply, which means what? He or she is crossing additional distances, right? He's not replying then and there. He's taking more time to reply. So he's delaying. In that case, we use the word further. Then the other, so are you clear with later, elder, older, farther, furthest? I hope you are clear with this.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Then the next misusage is in terms of nearest and next. Nearest is always of short distance. Okay, short distance. For example, Kohima is nearest to Mezdifema. Okay, or Mezdifema is nearest to Dimapur. No, in this case, I'm not talking about Kohima, which is far away, because Kohima is further from Dimapur, but Mezdifema is near me. So I will say Mezdifema is nearest to Dimapur. Distance, short distance. Next is always in relation to a line of things, okay? A line of something, a line of person, a line of noun. So in this case, the institute is next to that shop. I will not say the institute is nearest. No, it is nearest to that shop, okay? Because when I'm talking about this institute and the shop, which means there is a line of shops. Maybe there's an institute, there's a shop, there's a shopping mall, there is a car wash. Okay, so in that case, what? There is a line of shops going on, and the line of shops in this, we see that institute comes just next to the shop. Okay, so in that case, we use the word next here. Some is expressing quantity. Okay, quantity, and the word any. Next one, any. Any expresses quantity again, which is in negative or in the question mark sentence. Like for some, it is always positive. I will buy some mangoes. No, I will buy. I will get some apples for you. Okay, positive. It's an affirmative sentence. I'm going to get it. No, I'm not saying no. I'm not giving a negative remark there. But whenever you are having a negative degree, in that case, a negative remark, in that case, you are using any, not some. Like, I will not buy any mangoes. You will never say, I will not buy some mangoes. Okay, because some is used for affirmation. You are positive about it. Any is usually used for negative when we are talking about the comparisons. Then, next one, each and every. Now, there's always a problem on, am I supposed to use each for this sentence or am I supposed to use every for this sentence? Each is used, okay? Each is used when you have when you have things or you have people there, more people, okay, more people, and then you are placing your attention on individuals in the group. Okay, individuals in the group. But always remember, you are aware of the number of people or number of things which are there. I mean, like, you are sure this many numbers, and of these numbers, each is talking about or it is giving attention to all the individuals. Like, 5 boys were seated on each of the bench. So here we have the number 5 boys, and we know very clearly we are giving attention to all the individuals. We are not saying boy number 1 sits in one bench, boy number 2 in the second bench, boy number 3 in the third bench. But then in a compound manner, we are giving the sentence that all the 5 boys are seated on each of the bench. Okay, there is no particular bench which I'm giving number there, but I'm putting it in a more compound manner where I'm saying that each of the boys are sitting on each of the benches. Every, okay, every, in this, attention is given to the whole group when we don't know the number. Again, the same thing, attention is given, but then we don't know how many are there. So in that case, examples are there. Every seat was taken. We don't know how many seats were there. We don't know how many people were there. But when we look inside, we find that all the seats are being occupied. So we have to put it, we are giving attention to all of the people in the group, but then we don't know how many of them are there. In that case, we use the word every. Okay, little, a little, the little. Whether we have to use definite article, indefinite article with this particular adjective. Now, a little, okay, little is used when we are left out with hardly nothing. Okay, when there's nothing in our hand, we use the word little. For example, there's little hope of his recovery, which means what? Which means that we don't have any hope that he's going to recover. So when you hardly have anything, then we use the word little. A little is used when you have a little hope. I mean, like, you have something with you. Okay, it's not like completely zero, but maybe you have one. Then you use a little. And the little is used when you are definite, right? When you are definite about things, when you have a lot of hope there, when you have all that is being used, all that is there. So in that case, we use the word little, a little, the little, and the same thing goes on with few, a few, the few. The first one, okay? The first one, little, a little, the little. The next one, few, a few, the few, okay? These are all talking about when you have no hopes, or when you have nothing left with you, or when you have something with you, and when you know you have exactly things with you, or exactly you have all that is there in your hand. So this is, these are usually mistaken a number of times, and so I really wanted to let you know of this. So let us quickly do let us quickly try to finish this, figure out where are we supposed to use later, the later, all those things. But before that, let me just go back. So correct usages, okay, because these questions, I mean, like, these usages are very likely for your question papers. Examination usually has this kind of tricky questions where you are being tricked on which word is to be correctly used. So later is used with time, later with double T is used with the positioning. Elder is only used when we are talking or when we're referring to a person older is used in connection to a person as well as thing. Okay? Never use elder with any of the articles or any of the things. Farther talks about distance. Further talks about extra distance. No, extra everything. The delay is extra. Okay, the train is really further from the station. So which means like this far away from the station. Then nearest. Okay, when we talk about the short distance, next is always in the sequence. So you'll have to know the line there, and then you have to put where that place is being positioned. Some is always in a positive sentence. When it comes to negative, when you're using no, when you're saying, I'm not going to buy that, okay? In that case, you use any. Each is attention to all the individuals in the group when you know the numbers. Every attention to all the individuals in the group when you do not know the number. Little, you have nothing in your hand, hardly anything in your hand. A little, when you have something, a bit in your hand. The little, when you have everything in your hand. Likewise, few, a few, and the few. Okay? I hope you are okay. I hope you have understood this.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you here? Are you with me here?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So shall we just quickly test our understanding of the correct usages of these words? Okay. Okay. So the first one. The dash part of the book shows signs of hurry.
Later. Later.
Later or latter?
Letter with double T.
Yes, latter, great. The second one, latter, the later part, positioning, right? We are positioning the book. At a dash date, he was placed in charge of the whole village. At a dash date, he was placed in charge of the whole village.
Later, later.
At a later date, because later we are talking about time. Okay. I have an dash sister.
Elder sister.
E or O?
Elder sister.
Elder.
ELDER.
E, great. Elder, because sister is
E.
person. Perfect. The nephew is dash, then is uncle.
Older.
Older.
The nephew is older. Perfect. Or even you can, because see, nephew and uncle, they're human being, right? So you can even use elder there, okay? Because elder is used with person, older is used with person, but usually like I think older suits here, right? Sometimes we have to go with the hearing also. Okay, number 5. He is the dash member of the committee.
He is the eldest member of the
Eldest
committee.
member of the committee. Many times, many people use the word oldest. Wrong or right? What do you think? Wrong or right?
Wrong.
Wrong?
He is the
Oldest
eldest.
is oldest. He is the oldest.
Oldest, right? Because, okay, let me go back. Oldest, eldest, used only for person. Oldest, used of both persons and things. So oldest can be used for person also. Or except remember this, oldest can be used for person. Oldest is also used for things. Eldest is used only for person. Eldest is never used for things. Okay? Okay, so here you can use eldest, you can use the oldest, so perfect. This is Antonio, the Duke's dash son.
Eldest.
Eldest son.
Eldest, yes, correct. Eldest,
Eldest.
yes. Elder, we will use, yes. We will use,
Eldest.
we will use
Eldest
eldest
son.
son. I can't walk any
Further.
further. Yes, any further. Any further, FU, because you are emphasizing more on additional lessons. Any, which means like you are tired, you have really walked long and you really cannot walk any more steps. Okay, further. He walked off without dash ceremony.
Any.
He walked off without dash ceremony. He walked off I mean, like there was a ceremony going on, okay, and then there was still more to come, but then he just
Later.
left.
Later.
He walked off without further ceremony. Okay, further ceremony. This is the dash post office to my house.
Nearest.
Nearest,
Nearest.
perfect, nearest, because we are seeing the shortest distance. The post office is dash to my house,
Next.
next to my house. No, because we are having a line, we are having a sequence. The post office, my house, and the rest of the buildings. Dash grain they had was damaged by seawater.
Any.
The which one?
Grain.
Dash grain they had.
Any grain. Every grain.
Little grain.
A few grains.
The little grain.
A little
Every-
grain, of course. Yes, a
Oh,
little.
Little grain.
A little.
A little. Why a little? Because see, the sentence says that they were not out of grains. They had some grains with them, right? They had some grains with them. So when we, the sentence itself says that they were not having zero grains, they were having some grains. So when we have some with us, we use the word a little. Okay, a little grain they had was damaged by the sea. Then dash care could have prevented the catastrophe.
A little care.
A
A
little.
little care, yes, little care. Then dash the public libraries we have are not well equipped. Public libraries we
A
have.
few public libraries.
The few.
The few.
Public libraries. See, public libraries. So libraries, which means what? This place has libraries, and all the libraries which we have, they are not equipped. So when we are talking about all, all,
Few.
which the few. Okay, the few public libraries,
few,
because
okay.
it is not talking about zero, it's not talking about some, it's talking about everything. Okay, and this place, all the libraries in this place are not equipped well, which means the few public libraries we have are not well equipped. In dash words, he expressed his gratitude to his friends.
In few words.
In a few words, he expressed his gratitude to his friends. I mean, like he had some words. He was not without any words. He had some words. Okay, so he used those few words and then he expressed his gratitude to his friends. So this is, I mean, like I think you will have to practice more on the correct usages of these words. Okay, you are a little confused here, but then with practice, I'm very sure you are going to give the right answer to this kind of questions which may be asked in the examination.
Exactly, ma'am.
So so this is it. Now I'll give you a minute. We are already past time. I'll give you a minute. If you want to clarify with something, you can just clarify. Otherwise, we'll try to wind up.
Ma'am, what about comprehension?
Comprehension, of course, we are going to do it. Of course, we are going to do it. Because yes.
The difference between few and a few is that I think few is uncountable, whereas a few is countable, right?
Let me go back to this.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
A few and the few, no?
Yes,
See,
yes, ma'am.
when we are talking about few, okay, few is also countable. See, sometimes we say few persons. So persons are countable, right? We can count them, no? And similarly, when we are talking about a few, even that's countable. Sometimes when we are talking about few, we do not have the number of persons in front of us, so that becomes uncountable. Similarly, when we are talking about a few, okay, for example, a few words, okay, a few words, we cannot count the words. Similarly, when we say few words, we cannot count the words again, right? Uncountable.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
right? For both it is uncountable. So when so that the way to find out, okay, the way to find out, because there's nothing related to countable, uncountable, okay, when we are using the this word like few, a few, the few, the way to actually figure out when are we supposed to use this is in terms of that no that negative meaning like few means you hardly have any, no, none, you don't have anything. Few people, there are no, it is giving a negative. Few has a very negative meaning. A few, okay, a few
Yes, ma'am.
has a positive meaning, which means some, just like little, a little, some is positive, no? Little means
Yes,
what?
ma'am.
Little means negative. You don't have anything, so you are so sorry of it. You are blank, there's zero.
Mm.
So when there's zero, it is negative, right? But
Okay. Yes,
when we
ma'am.
talk about little, a little is giving you a hope that at least you have something in you, right?
Yes,
There's
ma'am. Yes,
something
ma'am.
with you. Similarly, a few is giving a hope that there is something which is opposite to nothing, right? A
Yes,
few.
ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
then similarly, the few,
Yes, ma'am.
is that higher level of positivity where you have all the things with you, everything is with you, okay, the
Yes,
highest
ma'am.
level of being very positive, okay. So
Okay.
in this case, when we're talking about that uncountable, countable, let's not get complicated with that. But then, uh, but then, what we have to be aware of with the correct usage of this is we have to be, we have to take in our account the negative meaning of the word, the positive meaning of the word, and the highest positivity of the word. Okay, so for the
Yes, ma'am.
highest positivity, we will use the. For positivity, it is always going to be A, because you know you have at least something in you, right? There's something in your hand, no? So that is
Yes,
positive.
ma'am.
That's giving you a lot of hope. And few is like hardly. I mean, like
Yes,
completely
ma'am.
negative. You do not have, there's no hope of you having at least even 1% of that particular thing. Okay. So this is how we are.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. You're
ma'am,
welcome.
ma'am,
Yes.
would you mind explaining ordinals and cardinals once again?
Ordinals and cardinals, of course, why not? So
Yes.
ordinals, when we are talking about ordinals, see, in the numeral system, okay, in the numerals that we use, uh, one of the way of counting numbers is by straight counting the heads, right? I'm like, let me not go into the definition now, okay, because that will again complicate you all. I'm giving you in a very simple hinting way. Okay, when we are counting some people or when we are counting things, there is one way of counting them based on the head counts. So this is like 1, 2, 3. No. So if you have a basket of 10 chocolates in front of you, you can very easily pick up 1, 2, 3 till the 10th one. You can till number 10. You can keep on counting, right? So this is one way of counting numbers, and this way of counting numbers, when we are straight away putting the counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 100, this is known as cardinal. Okay, this way of counting number is cardinal. The other way of counting cardinal is is something like the order of things in a series. Order of things. So like you have this basket which has 10 chocolates, and these chocolates are placed exactly one after the other. Okay, one after the other, and you are asked to count the order. No, count the order. So suppose the fifth one is Kit Kat, for example. Okay, Kit Kat, and I tell you where in the series is Kit Kat. So what you will do, you will not tell me number 5 in that case, okay? You will count the order, and when you're counting the order, you are going to count first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So you will tell me Kit Kat is in the 5th place. Okay, so when we are counting the order in a series, in that case, this counting of numbers is called ordinals. Okay, but then when
Alright.
you are simply counting the number, how many chocolates are there? So you will tell me 10 chocolates are there. You will not tell me 10th chocolates are there, right? Because 10th is the counting in the order of things being placed. Okay, so this is the difference between cardinals and ordinals according to definition. But for ease of understanding, let me just hint you out with this. Okay, I don't know whether it's correct for me to hint you out like this or not. But if I want to, if to make things easier for you, for cardinals it will be simple number counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and for ordinals it will be counting the position. Okay, first, second, no, fifth, 50th, etc. So this is the difference between ordinals and cardinals. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah, you're
All right.
clear?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, great.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome. So we were talking about, someone asked me about comprehension. We are going to do comprehension. Okay, we will be doing that. But before comprehension, because composition and comprehension, okay, before this, you have to be aware of all these things, because if you don't know active, passive, if you don't know synonyms, if you don't know how to write the correct sentence, subject, predicate, you will not be able to comprehend, or you'll not be able to write an essay, or you'll not be able to do the passage comprehension. Okay, so that is why I'm going with the very base of English grammar. And so I told you in the very beginning, you all know these things. You have studied this in your high school. So this is going to be a revision, and this is going to be brushing up of what you have already learned. So, okay, so once we finish up with the grammatical part, we will come to composition, or we also call this as comprehension. Okay, fine.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Great. Okay, so I hope that's okay.
Ma'am.
Good
Good night,
night,
ma'am.
Okay, so good night. I'll be stopping my sharing here. I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Take care. See you tomorrow.
Good night, ma'am.